All right, what's going on, guys? We're the Garage Heroes. I'm Vinny,
I'm Miguel.
and we're here to talk about Invisible Man today. We saw a new trailer. It's looks pretty interesting.
Yeah, honestly, I'm looking forward to it. I want to see how it turns out.
Definitely. What I want to point out is that Elizabeth Moss is the starring role in this movie. I think she's an amazing actress, and I think that this movie is really going to be just about like her showing off how good of an actress that she really is.
I do agree with you there. I haven't seen like every single movie that she's in, but she certainly is a great actor, and it shows on this trailer. You could see that the movie is about a descent into madness. Like we discussed this a little bit earlier.
Through the makeup, it reminds me of the Babadook. The way stress starts to build up on her, the lack of sleep, it all like looks very realistic. Like the way you would, I guess, feel if somebody was, breathing on your shoulder and you couldn't see them, whether it was a ghost, apparition, whatever it is, or in this case, psycho ex-husband that killed himself and is now haunting you, which is...
Or apparently didn't kill himself.
Yes, we don't know. Maybe he is not even the Invisible Man, because we don't know what they're going to do with the script.
True,
we don't know what they're going to do with the plot.
It is a rewrite.
It could be some weird thing, It could just throw us all off. I don't think so, but...
I think they're gonna try to. I mean,
a little bit.
There's a lot of things that can be misconstrued about the trailer, so it's very easy to sort of lead your perception one way or another.
Yeah, there could have been a lot of misdirection and stuff like that.
Yeah,
like
I think
I said,
in many spots. Actually.
Like I said, some of those moments in the actual trailer didn't need to be there. I feel like they didn't add anything to it.
I disagree with you. For example, with the cell phone scene, I think that's a very good hint at the themes that this is gonna go over. Sure, you could have guessed something with
Blackmail
the whole abusive
like
relationship thing. We see that in the first few seconds.
Yeah.
But it's also bringing that idea into the modern era, trying to attract a broader crowd as well. Because to a lot of people in our generation, it can be more relatable to see that, because that has happened to people.
It happens.
Pictures taken in their sleep or by creeps over the window or something like that.
I just feel like the scene is just funny. Like, I just feel like it's like...
The way it was put together in the trailer? Or?
The way she's like... Because she at that point, she's acting like she knows that something's following her, right? So, like, if you wake up in the middle of the night, you know something's following you, and there's, like, a phone, like...
you see a flash.
Levitating, and you're like... Ah! You know what I mean? Like, come on, now. We're talking about goddamn Invisible Man. He's gonna kill everybody. This movie comes out in 2020.
The director Slay. What? How do you pronounce his name?
I'm gonna say that the name is. Let me see it real quick. I don't have it on mine.
Leigh Whannell.
Leigh Whannell.
Or Leigh Whannell.
Whannell. There's an H in it.
Oh. Okay.
Yeah,
my notes don't,
yeah.
have an H in it.
Oh, what happened there? I don't know. You should write your own notes. This movie comes out in 2020. It looks really good. Overall, just to put it into a small little perspective, no, I love horror movies, and I love drama, and I love like suspenseful movies, like wondering what's gonna happen, like true crime, and like all that type of stuff. So I feel like overall, she's like the perfect person for this, because like you can feel the anguish. Like, she's really good at like making it
conveying
feel real.
That stress.
Like, she looks like she's sick in this movie. She looks like she's about to die. Like, she looks like she has, she's like really sick. I mean, like terminally ill. She she looks sick.
I think it helps also that she generally looks like a real person, unlike a lot of Hollywood actresses.
That's the problem, is that so many of them are like, like X-23, like just perfectly created. And, it's nice to see Squirrel Girl get her shine. I don't think that this is, like, going to be a blow your mind, like, oh, my God, it's 9 out of 10, it's so good. I think it's going to be, like, a 7 out of 10.
Yeah, one last thing I want to bring up is the director for this movie. He's only ever directed 2 other movies?
4. He's directed 3
One of them was
movies.
in pre-production, and the other one is in post-production, meaning that really technically...
But it says that he did that here in post-production.
Yeah, no, but he's saying it's post-production is right now.
That's what I'm saying.
So 2 that have been released is what I meant to say. He's only worked on 2 officially already released in theaters movies. One of them It sounds familiar, I think, and the other one.
What is it?
No, wait. One of them was Insidious 3, and the other one was one I never heard about, so I don't know much about it. But it's not like the guy is not prolific.
Well,
like,
he's a great screenwriter.
Yeah, I like the stuff he's done as a writer.
Wrote Insidious.
Yeah, even as a producer.
Dead Silence, Saw 2, Saw 3, Saw 4, Saw 5.
Yeah,
like executive screenwriting on like producing on some of them. I'd like to add as well. So like he's been in the game. I question the budget here, and I question like some like the time that they had to make the film when it comes down to that. If he hasn't had a lot of these jobs, either somebody took a chance and gave him something, but we see that it's Blumhouse.
Obviously, he's taking a chance, because that's the other thing that makes the fact that he's directing noteworthy. Is he's not just directing; he also wrote the script. He also is producing the movie, so he's
passion project.
It's gonna be the project that has his name everywhere. I don't know if he really wants to stake out like his entire career on this, because I mean, sure, it might not be deterministic, but like when you put yourself so prominently on like anything that you're putting out into the world, whether it be a product or a service, if you don't do good, it's going to reflect mostly on you and not so much on the other people you were working with. And I think it looks good, so I'm not too scared for him. But I'm also not blown away. I also don't know if it's gonna work out for him.
Immediately when I see Blumhouse Pictures and I see Goalpost Pictures and smaller companies, I immediately think that there was a smaller budget on this film. So I give people benefit of the doubt when it comes to horror, just by the fact that like the biggest budget was It. And that wasn't like a crazy budget. If I'm not mistaken, the first part of it was like $30 million or something like that. I might be wrong, but I think it was like $30 million. And if that's the case, that ain't a lot of money. That's like you going out in real places, shooting things in real.
Horror doesn't get a lot of money anymore.
But it never has really.
Yeah,
now in terms of money, yeah, sure, some movies were bigger than others, but really like Jaws, like those were like like the biggest budgets back then, and those are whatever.
Yeah.
It's you shit out that money now as a studio, and realistic. You buy.
Yeah, you have to think about it.
You sell popcorn, and you make that money for that movie
basically
in like a month, like a week. Like it, that's the world, and that's how it grows. But my point is ultimately is that this is one of those where I think that because it is by a guy that knows what he's doing, like this is somebody that's been around great people in the industry. He wrote a lot of good stuff. I mean, like some of the movies I watched when I was a kid, I couldn't watch them. That's how scary they were. I mean, I'm not trying to, kiss this guy's ass, but fucking Dead Silence is a scary fucking movie. Okay, that story that he wrote
when I was younger, but I think it's all been purged from my memory.
Yeah, it's like if you're scared of dolls and like he's just doing the screenplays for Saw and the executive production for that, and he's involved in all these things. Not The Conjuring, Insidious 1, 2, 3. I mean, like this guy's in there.
He had a hand in all that.
He's in these movies, So like I give him a lot of props. I think that this one's gonna be good. I think that it's not gonna be blow your mind good. I think it's just gonna be a good movie. You're gonna enjoy it, like most horror movies. Some of them break that ceiling and break that mold, and you're like, ah, and you're really terrified.
And most of them just kind of suck, and you're just like,
most of them are just whatever. Like, what the fuck is that? Like they didn't need to do that. They could have used a practical effect. And it comes down to you just being nitpicky, and then this is where real savants come out, where they're sitting there watching these movies. Oh, well, the blood did not look real. That's what we get down to in horror. It's a different thing than drama. It's a different thing than action and all these things.
And it's kind of enjoyable how
it is enjoyable how it works.
The standards for it are so different.
You see a guy get his head stabbed with a pitchfork, and you're like, whoa! Like even if it wasn't like great looking, you still either laugh at like it's a creative kill, and you can appreciate that somebody went out of their way to give you that kill. Let's say. Instead of just, okay, and stab you in the back. Like, we watched, sorry to break, we'll put this in the end of the video just as a little thingy, watching Scream 3 last night. And, like, remember, we watched it, and it's like, I've watched all the Screams, I love the first Scream, and it's like, Scream 3 I like, but it's like, I like the movie up until the end. Up until he reveals himself.
Yeah.
And they give you, whoa, look how left field this is. You had a brother this whole time.
Also, suddenly...
It's a little much. It's like...
It is, and also suddenly, like, he stops being a
smart.
Yeah, he loses all
Stops
his
being
brains.
smart. He's like,
He
oh, I
doesn't
hear
even
voices.
put the mask back
She
on.
escaped. Where is she? You know, it's a lot of that just ridiculousness. They try to do the same thing they do in the first Scream, where she disappears with the voice changer and the phone and the knife or whatever, and then she's, I'm gonna kill you. You know, all this shit. You know, they try to go back on that, but I think that he's just not up to par with the other two. But that's just the situation, is that you run into these movies and you watch them again and you're like, you just remember. You're like, okay, this was fun because it's like he's killing the whole cast and all this stuff, but really, ultimately, it's just whatever. You know, it's just an okay movie. You're like, it feels good to watch this, you know, but it's not anything special. And that's 80% of horror movies. It's just, all right, whatever.
As a horror fan, that's why you have to sort of learn to enjoy the schlub, because there's a lot of it.
Oh, there's a lot of it, but when it is good, it's beyond good. You know, you're scared to watch the movie again.
Yeah.
You know, and there's those movies, even like the first Conjuring, fucking Dead Silence, like I said, Paranormal Activity 3, I was really scared of because it was kids. You know, like it was messing with the kids. Now I don't like that. You know, freaked me out a little bit. You know, dragging her by her hair and the babysitter and all that shit. It just freaked me out. They killed the dog, I think,
when they went into the Spanish stuff too.
Oh, when you start getting into that shit, all right, because that shit happens, all right. You're gonna cut this out the video. It ain't gonna come from me, motherfucker. All right. You know, that's the end of the video, basically, guys. We're the Garage Heroes. I'm Vinny, and here's my partner in crime, the co-captain. We're really not the co-captain. Yeah, we're both captains. Okay, captains of the Garage.